to another Farming Simulator 25 video, and today we're going to have a look at the footage Giants have released ahead of Farmcon of the game. So let's dive in, and the first video we're going to take a look at is of the fog. So Giants are making a big deal of this, and actually I think it looks really cool. It actually seems to be, I guess the term is volumetric. It looks three-dimensional. It looks kind of cool. I quite like it. It's going to add a nice effect. There is some really cool footage coming up in a bit of like morning fog sitting across the field, and I think that is going to make the game look quite cool, quite atmospheric. I am recording this ahead of Giants releasing their own video, and it really looks to me like we are getting really good proper lighting as well. You can see the way the lighting comes through the trees, the way the lighting off the tractor reflects on the fog. I think this first video, the game is looking really nice. It doesn't look just like a version of FS22 with reshade. I think it looks, this is the bit, you can just see that layer of fog just sat there sitting above the ground. I think that looks really cool, and yeah, I think this is a nice graphical addition to the game, assuming it doesn't hurt performance too much. I have picked only some of the clips to look at, and the next one is the performance optimizations. I don't have Giants voiceover as to what they're saying for this, but I just picked this clip out because I think the game looks really good. The lighting looks really nice. It doesn't have that cartoony feel that certainly early FS22 footage had. I quite like the way the crops blow in the wind. You can see the clouds blowing over. I've not included that separate clip. I just think the game looks really nice in this footage. Moving into some actual gameplay footage, and Giants have focused heavily on the rice planting in this. I guess it's one of the big additions to the game, so it kind of makes sense. And the first thing we see is we have polytunnels instead of greenhouses, or maybe in addition. And these are growing the saplings for the rice. I'm not sure saplings is the right term, but they're growing the little rice plants that you're going to transplant into your paddy field, I guess is the right term. So that's kind of cool. It's a whole process by the looks of it. So you get out pallets of little rice plants. That's what I'm going to call them, which you then need to take and load in. What I really like here is we can see elements of the HUD. I quite like the redesigned HUD. It feels quite clean. Once you jump in to the vehicle, we can see the whole of the new HUD. We've got the GPS icon. Did a separate video on that. So it looks like in FS25 we're going to be getting GPS on all platforms. We've got fuel and damage as we had before, just slightly rearranged. The icons and the text all look cleaner. I just quite like how all the HUD looks. Yeah, I think the game is looking quite nice. I like the way as the vehicle drives into the water is dynamic. And driving into water wasn't a big part of FS22. I don't think that it behaved like this. The water is rippling away. That's really cool. I really like that. It doesn't look like it's moving so much where the pump is pumping water in, but the way it behaves around the vehicle, I really quite like. It looks really cool. So yeah, I think this shows good potential for how the engine's going to behave. And then next we have the grown ready to harvest rice crop. This is one of the two rice crops that's in the game, and again I think the textures look quite nice. They yeah, obviously they're still within the limitations of elements of the farm sim game engine, but I think they look quite nice. I think overall the scene we've got here looks nice. I'm assuming that this is on the US map, because I don't think they're planning to preview the Asian map. So we're seeing US style buildings in the background. It looks like we have an animal pen behind us. No sign of what animal that's for. But yeah, we've got this Ziki rice harvester. Thankfully, it has internal storage, which is kind of cool. And I'm assuming this maybe a paddy field that's been drained, so you can then harvest it. I don't know. I'm not an expert in rice harvesting. I'm really focusing on how this looks, and yeah, I think it looks cool. I don't know. I don't know the details. Obviously, I don't have the Giants commentary at this point. We got sent this footage early so that we could do pre-release content for you. I like how it looks. And then into the other new rice crop. So this is the long grain rice. It's combinable, and yeah, I think the game looks really cool. We've got hints of the fog in the background. Just looks nice. Everything looks cleaner, and it sounds good. And I'm optimistic. The engine looks nice. The interior looks good. It looks like the screens aren't showing anything, but maybe that's because it's early. Who knows? And then a little bit of footage of driving around the American map. So at the gas get station where you get your gas and maybe your gaskets. Looks like the animal dealer, well, not the animal dealer, that was the vehicle dealership. This is the animal dealer. So we do see a little glimpse of some of the animal models there. So we've got the cows here. I think we've got some sheep up ahead as well. Not close enough that we can really see much in detail, but kind of some cool little glimpses of what things might look like. Yeah, it's not a bad looking map, is it? So yeah, just picking out a few of the clips that Giants sent over. Giants have done a video going through all of this, and they'll have commentary, and obviously they have a bit more knowledge about what's going on in the video, so go check that out if you haven't. They have their full program as part of Farmcon where they're going to be previewing a load of stuff. Not sure how much of that is in English. If it's not, obviously check out a bunch of the creators that are going to Farmcon, because I'm sure they'll be covering stuff as they can. And it's looking good, isn't it? The game looks really good. If you're interested in picking up a copy of the game ahead of release, please think about using my Giants partner code. I am very close to hitting that bronze partner level where I should maybe get early access a few days ahead of release, and that'll really help me out in getting the type of content that you guys like, those tutorials and how-tos, done early, so that when you get a copy of the game, I'll be able to explain to you how things work. See you next time.